Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Beavers at Better Health Chiropractic, the home of life-changing results. We work with patients who have disc injuries, chronic lower back pain, sciatica, peripheral neuropathy, and chronic knee pain. We use some of the most advanced technologies available to help patients achieve pain relief and, in many cases, correction. Our unique and different approach to helping patients recover provides phenomenal health results for our patients. If you'd like to learn more how we at Better Health Chiropractic help patients with back pain, sciatica, stenosis, knee pain, knee problems, and peripheral neuropathy, please contact our office to attend one of our workshops. You can also contact our office and schedule a consultation with a doctor. Contact us at Better Health Chiropractic, 916-632-2676.
So we began coming in November of last year. Sebastian had just turned 6 and he was dealing a lot with ADHD behavioral issues. He was self-harming. He wasn't able to attend any kind of class with more than 8 children. He wasn't able to be any type of independent. He wasn't aware of any kind of social dangers like roads, crossing the street, just anything that would come naturally instinct to other children. So we were referred to come here through a friend named Sandy who had been doing research about chiropractic care and children with autism and ADHD. And so we began around the same time. After she began, she referred me in. And our first couple times, he was really excited, and it was a very good experience because he wasn't sure what we were doing, and Dr. Bate was really kind to him, and so he always enjoyed coming, and it was just a great experience from the beginning. With the chiropractic care alone, a lot had changed. His repetitive behavior became less and less throughout the time. He was self-harming, but not nearly as much. We would have one episode maybe every 3 or 4 months. He wasn't seeking the sensory as when we first came. When we first met Dr. Bates, I'm pretty sure he almost ran her over because he was very sensory seeking for very strong and hard hits. So he would hit himself into walls, he would run up and hit people, and it was just part of a sensory processing disorder that he was having. Now, today, he comes in and he can give her a hug, and he's not crashing, he's not hitting walls, he's not tumbling to the ground, and those sensory issues have cleared up a lot. When we first came, he would only wear long pants, sweatpants, and short sleeve shirts. He didn't like jackets. He didn't, in the middle of winter, which is always a bad thing, he didn't like long sleeve shirts, and just yesterday he was wearing long sleeve shirts. So a lot of the sensory issues that he was having have resolved, which has been really nice. He still won't wear shorts, but he's able to wear jackets now and long sleeve shirts, so that's definitely a win. And then in July, we began a new type of therapy where it was like a brain training kind of a therapy. And with that, I've noticed significant leaps and bounds because he never understood social cues. He never picked up when children were being mean to him. He never understood when, personal space and boundaries. So for children his age, he would have a lot of problems with too much. So he would scare them. They didn't want to play with him because they just didn't understand how to take him. So with that, now he's understanding more personal space and boundaries, which have never, I didn't even know that would be something that we would see. But he's not as, he asks permission to touch people now more. He's hesitant to touch people now more, which has been a big improvement. And a couple months ago, he had an issue where some kids didn't want to play with him, and that was the first time that he realized, they don't want to play with me, and give them their space, which did hurt his feelings, but that's something that he was so blind to. So kids would tell him over and over, leave me alone, don't chase me, you're hurting me, and he wouldn't understand those things, and now he has an understanding of it. And even though it hurts his feelings, he's able to recognize when he has those behaviors and correct them. And with that, he's been able to make friends because he has not had friends his age or around his age his whole life, because he didn't understand those things, and children as young as 6 and 5 don't understand that a child that looks normal may not be normal. And so that has been like one of the coolest things. What else have? He's able to sleep alone, which is a big help to me and my husband, because he's always needed to feel the sensory thing. So that was really hard on our marriage, that like we just never had time alone because he always needed someone. And what else? I just feel like, I don't want to say the word normal, because normal's not, I don't have a definition of normal, but I have seen him able to adapt to society and society's definition of normal, where I had big fears that he would not be able to go to like a normal school or have friends or just do things that a normal 6-7-year-old would do. And through the chiropractor, through the brain training, all those things, he has just became a new child. Like, a lot of people don't even recognize that he may be autistic unless you really get to know him. And a lot of his autistic traits have minimalized. I mean, he's still going to have those things that put him on the spectrum, but they're not nearly as severe as they once were. There's no tantrums, there's no self-harming, there's no harming others there, because for a long time with the sensory seeking, he would hit his dad. He never hit another child, but his dad, he felt safe to like get that emotion out, and we haven't had that in over a year now, and he's just a new kid, and I can tell that he's got a confidence within himself now, that, and he's able to just, I guess the social aspect is like the biggest aspect that I've noticed, but that's this aspect of it that we've focused on the most, because he's always been a very bright child. He's self-taught himself to read, he can memorize about anything. So we've never worried his struggles with school, but it was the social and behavioral things that we really struggled with. And when he first started, he was just turning 6, and his younger 4-year-old brother was more mature in knowing the dangers and knowing social cues and knowing rights from wrongs. And I think Sebastian now is exceeding a level of his brother. So he's about to be 7, and I would say he's closer to a 5-year-old level than he was a year ago when he was testing at 2 to 3 years old. And it's really hard to have a child who is very bright, but then struggles socially and emotionally and behaviorally, because you have this child who is 6 years old, but is as smart as a 13, 14-year-old, reading, writing, memorizing, just excelling, but then behaviorally and socially is at a level of a 3-year-old. So being able to raise him to a 5 or 6-year-old level now, when he's about to be 7, has been a great improvement for our family, because it's so hard to differentiate that, because when you look at him, you look at a 7-year-old, and then he speaks to you and you're like, oh wow, he's so mature, like a 13-year-old, but then he will go and throw a fit like a 2-year-old, and it's just so hard to balance. So raising that level for him has been such a stress reliever, a blessing, because I'm just seeing like the potential he has in life now. And as he continues to do this and catch up to where he's supposed to be, I think he's going to be fine, and he's going to thrive in our society the way it is, and blend in and not be this strange, different thing that people didn't understand and know what to do with, especially children his age. So I'm very grateful for all the people that have taken time to be in his life and get to know him and help him and see him for what he is and build on that. And these appointments and the chiropractic care and the brain training and coming here weekly has just been amazing for our family, and especially for him, because I think that he's reached an age where he knows that there's something different and he's not sure what, and he's wanting to fit in and things like that. And everything he's picked up and learned here, and just the conversations and the talking that he does with the other patients or with the people that work here, have given him social skills that I would not have been able to give him anywhere else. And the treatments along with that, it's just the whole package of everything we got here has really helped him become the child that I knew he always could be, and I always hoped he would be. So that's my story.